to do. Want to feel that good and losing you. We can get all that to right now. Making fitness funky, funky town. I can feel the way you want to do. Want to feel that good and losing you. We can get all that to right now. Making fitness funky, funky town.
What's going on, Corey? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, buddy. So I guess we can go ahead and get started a couple minutes early if you want. If you want to go ahead and bring us in, you're a little bit better at that intro than me right now.
That's fine. I can't see us on the YouTube though.
That's okay. There's like a small delay. I don't know how.
That's just not good. Look at myself when I talk.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Hello out there to all our bandits, mercs, and space cowboys. I'm Corey Carlino. With me, as always, is Bishop, and we're gonna talk about some gamer stuff for you today.
Hell yeah.
So, how you doing, Bish?
Man, I'm good. Long day at work, and I'm ready to start talking about some stuff I like doing.
Yeah, all the fun stuff you can't do while you're at work.
Yes, of course, exactly that.
Yeah,
I do have
yeah, we can't do it, so let's talk about it.
Yep.
So, last week you were talking about running a campaign, and it got me thinking, because I've run a lot of different games, I've played a lot of different games, about something that kind of bothers me.
What's that?
Random encounters.
Random encounters. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you mean by that?
Okay, so it cannot be a tabletop game. Like, if anyone who's played a video game RPG has encountered this. You're trying to get something done, you're trying to move the main storyline along, you take 2 steps, and you get attacked by bandits. They don't advance the story, they don't do anything, they're just literally there to grind you down, to, like, take up time. And that's exactly what it is, in my opinion. When I play a tabletop game or an RPG, I want to be immersed in the story. I want to, I want to play a role-playing game. And I want to have to stop the story for 5 minutes to kill a bunch of bandits that clearly made poor life choices.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point, I suppose. I mean, I think that definitely some value that can be added with something like that, but talk to me more about, what are some of your biggest grievances on that?
Okay, well, let's just go with the video game angle first, because I think more people will be familiar with that, and it's a good intro into the in general. If you enjoy role-playing games and you are not playing a tabletop or have not tried a tabletop game, be it Deep Dungeons & Dragons, BattleTech, Marvel, there's tons. There's one out there for everybody. I highly suggest you try it. Just to put that out real quick.
Which one?
Any of them. Like, if you only are a video game player, I know you're not. I know you're into the BattleTech and you play games. But there are people that really enjoy video game role-playing games, RPGs, and have just never tried live action, or like, not live.
Okay.
But, so let's start with the video game. So you're playing a JRPG or an American RPG, all of them, and you are, I don't know, halfway through the game. You know what I mean? Like, you ground up, you're invested in the story, and like, you gotta go from one part of the story to another part of the story, from one castle to another castle, from one dungeon to another dungeon. And you take 5 steps and you get attacked by wolves. And you're like, all right, whatever. You take 5 more steps and you get attacked by wolves. Now, like, you have limited time sometimes. You know what I mean? You go play for a couple hours. You don't want to spend the whole day fighting wolves. And then, then you'll get to the other dungeon, and then the actual story will happen, and you'll fight, like, it's just to take up time. It's just to get your characters to a higher level. And like, if you just do it, then you'll be so high level that you can just beat the main story. It doesn't matter because you've killed all these wolves.
I mean, that makes sense. So you see it as really more of a time waster. It takes up space. It draws you away from the story. You really see it as a big detractor, if I'm getting that right.
Yeah, I mean, when you start playing a new game, the first time you kill a skeleton or whatever, it's really cool. You know what I mean? Sometimes combat's the best part of some games. But like, the 107,000th time you've done it, you're just...
I see where you're coming from. So, I mean, I think that there are definitely benefits to it. Depending on how your game is run, if your game is purely experience-based, then it gives you, it gives your DM something. Honestly, I would say the biggest pros are probably from the DM side. I mean, you, of all people, know how much time it takes to put into a session. You know how much time it takes to build a 3-hour, 4-hour session. And I mean, to me, as somebody who's never run a game, I can see it as a break. Let me kill 45 minutes, let me kill 30 minutes, and I only have to write, one essay today. I don't have to write a term paper. I mean, that's one pro that I would put in it, is that it takes a little bit off of the DM's plate as far as his need to come up with fresh new content in volume. Does that track?
Yeah, no, I do understand there are benefits to it. Like, for going to the video game example, you get loot from these random creatures, and then you pick up with the loot, and like, you do grind for levels, and I mean, they're intricate to the game. I understand that.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, you gotta think, if you're level 1 characters and your game is purely experience based, it's not, milestone based, it's not random DM, gifting of experience based, I just see benefits to saying, hey, here's an extra few 100 or 1,000 XP. I don't know how big the gap is in this.
I get you. Idea.
But and the other side of it is that by allowing the game to have these random encounters, you're giving less experienced players time to learn how to utilize their character.
Okay. Okay, that's a very valid point that did not even occur to me.
Yeah, I thought about it yesterday, but I figured
Doing
I'd
it
save for
early
the
on,
show.
to help people get their footing. And there are legitimate. I mean, I'm looking at the Dungeon Master's Guide right now, for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and it actually lists 6 reasons, like 6 good reasons.
Is that right? Well, why don't you tell me those reasons? Because I have not read the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I bet it hits on several of my key points that I'm going to make.
Okay, so, and by the way, it does recommend you use them sparingly.
Well, yeah, I mean, the worst games that I play, albeit the most addicting games, like your Neverwinters, your Baldur's Gates, it's a grind fest. And I get it, you can only have so much content to keep people playing, and by making them grind, you keep players on the platform, you keep your numbers up as far as, people getting screen time and game time. But yeah, I am sick of Neverwinter because all it is let me do the same 3 things every day.
Yeah, and I feel, I just feel like that's kind of what it is. Like, oh, more combat for no reason. Like you would think, like after the 20th time your group gets attacked by bandits, that people around there would just decide that bandit is a poor life choice. Like, and you should go.
No, you're right. I mean, you make me think of the videos from NPC Man and the Muggers. It's what do? We murder them. All right, please don't sue me. But you get it. Like it's like those guys seem like their life choices are pretty poor.
Yeah,
just like your
I feel like it takes me out of the game because, like, if every time someone traveled on a road, they got attacked every 5 minutes, there would be no trade between towns. Like, your world would be dead. It makes no logical sense. I do get the point that you're making about, new players and, maybe a DM doing it occasionally because they just didn't have time that week or they needed some filler to prepare for the next week, because there's a big thing happening next week. I completely understand that. I'm just more talking about it as a structure, like using it as a crutch and like overusing it, which I feel a lot of RPGs, video games do, and a lot of newer dungeon masters do.
Well, video games have to do it.
I feel like.
No, I think video games are forced to do it. I don't think they have much of a choice because just to make, what do you take? Your typical game takes you what, 80 real hours to beat? And that's if you go linear, or maybe if you're really good at it, 20 or 30 real hours to beat if you go on a linear path. But guys like me who are stupid and like to do all the side quests, it's gonna take me 150 hours to beat this game, and I may never beat it because I've done all the side quests and then I get bored of it before I finish.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
But it's because
they 140 hours, I'm good.
But they make these games so big that you have to have these random encounters, like, because it would take longer to develop the game if every encounter was planned out for them to plan for 200 hours of gameplay, which seems to be what they're shooting for, is to increase playability and overplayability. And, they really want people to be immersed. So I get your point. I do. I think that random encounters for somebody who's 20th level is probably pretty stupid. I think random encounters for somebody who's levels 1 through 8 is probably useful. You're getting new levels, you're getting new powers. I'm not talking about veterans like you who know every fucking race, every character, whatever. But guys like me, I dabble in the tabletop. I know enough to be dangerous, as they say in most industries, right? I know to play one style of character in D&D. I know enough to play multiple types of characters in BattleTech. But at the end of the day, if I'm playing something I'm not used to, and I just leveled up last session, it's gonna take me several sessions to learn all the shit I really have. And maybe random encounters help me get there so that when the storyline mission comes, I'm at peak performance.
I mean, I definitely understand that, but I feel like even a new DM can do it without much hassle, which is... So, let me get into what the 5th edition says, the 6th thing.
Okay.
So they, 1, create urgency, 2, establish atmosphere, 3, drain character resources, 4, provide assistance, 5, add interest, and 6, reinforce campaign themes. And I feel like those are all great points.
Yeah.
If the party's hanging around one spot too long, the DM moves them along by creating urgency, making the spot not safe anymore.
Yep.
They have atmosphere. They can make a place seem more dangerous. Like, hey, we've been in this cave for 5 seconds. We got attacked by spiders. Like,
I don't know any game you've played in recently that might be cognizant of that situation.
They drain character resources, so they can take. You know, if you want your party to, the dungeon master wants the party to have to grind through an area, make a sense of danger, they can do that. Provide assistance. Not all random encounters are bad. So usually a dungeon master rolls the table. Some of them are good things, so they can help out. They add interest. They can reveal details about the world, foreshadow danger, provide hints, like using them to move along the main story. And they can reinforce the themes of your campaign. Now, these are all good things.
Yep.
I think if you use random encounters, you should read this section and do that. Like, even if you roll it on a table, think for 5 minutes about how you're going to integrate it into the campaign. Make it reasonable. Make it like, you don't want your party being like, well, why do these hate us so much? You know, like, make it a part of the story.
I agree with you. I mean, I see it. I agree and disagree. Let me put it that way. I agree with you in all the senses that you've said. Everything you've said is completely valid in my mind. I think that you still do have some validity to random encounters because if you think about the setting, let's focus on D&D. Hell, I'm gonna 2 for you right now. I'm gonna D&D and BattleTech you right now. D&D and BattleTech you right now based on what I've read and what I've experienced in both worlds. If you are a merc company in BattleTech or a adventuring company in D&D, because they have very similar goals often, you're gonna have to travel from this location to that location. In D&D, it's usually more land-based. In BattleTech, it's usually more planetary-based. But the point remains, there are such things as thieves. There are such things as wolves and owl bears, apparently, because that's a thing. You know, if you and I went camping next weekend up in the George Washington National Forest, the odds of us seeing a bear are markedly low, but they're not 0. And as an adventuring game that is meant to have perils, it's meant to have tribulations and trials, the mere act of traveling is supposed to be difficult. The mere act of going from place to place is not supposed to be, I would relate it to fast travel mechanics. This game was not made with the idea of fast travel mechanics in mind. And, you know, that is something that somebody who feels your grievance has come up with. Well, why do I have to have random encounters every time I go from A to B? Why can't I have gone to be, opened up a portal, now I can just warp there. Now it's fast travel. You know?
But there's a point for fast travel. Like, you don't have to make... Sometimes your group is like, I want to go from this city to this city. And you're like, well, it's a week and nothing interesting is going to happen. Like, you can just get there. Like, what do you want to do in the week you travel? Like, using your Battletech example, there's different timelines, obviously. Different times in the timeline for travel.
Obviously, yes.
Saved. But if you're going from, like, one system in the middle of, you know, Steiner space to another system in the middle of Steiner space, more than likely you're going to be okay. Like, if you're traveling from the edge of the periphery deeper into the periphery, maybe you won't be okay. It's the same as Dungeons and Dragons. If you're going to two big cities in the middle of the kingdom, there's probably not a lot of bandits. Those roles are probably well patrolled. All the animals there, like wolves, know better than to attack people. Like, because otherwise there would be no trade in those kingdoms. Every time a villager wanted to go see his sister in the next town, he had like a 500% chance of getting attacked.
I agree with you, but then you also, I mean, let me put it this way. Should they be used extensively? Should every time you hit the road, should you have to have a random encounter? No. But bandits exist anyways, despite your arguments. Bandits existed on those popular roads despite your arguments in real life. Like Joe Blow Merchant.
Yeah, I guess if your counterpoint's going to be bandits exist, there's no way I can win.
There isn't.
Every game,
but I'm not. But I'm agreeing and disagreeing with you. I'm not totally disagreeing with you here. Don't take that wrong. Like, my point is, you would think that I could walk down a crowded street in New York, with no crime that I got to worry about. But it has been proven in history that crime exists in crowded places, in populated, in a heavy populace. You know, like, people in New York City get mugged daily. People
and people get attacked by bears in like Wyoming
and Detroit.
Yeah, but we can say that though. Take into account your environment when establishing random encounters. Just take more time to think about it. Is all I'm saying. Don't roll. Just roll dice and go with it.
No, I'm totally down with that. I'm
definitely glad you definitely brought up some points I had not thought of, and maybe make me rethink a few things.
Well, that was my goal. That's why we exist. That's why this entire conversation exists.
Fair enough. So, are you ready for the next segment? Because I'm really excited about this.
All right, you've told me a little bit about this. I'm excited. I want to see what you're going to hit me with.
I'm super excited. So, this is a segment I like to call We Watchin' or Nah.
Woo, boy! We watching or nah?
We watching or nah, buddy?
Man, I'm going to make that a soundbite, just so you know. I'm making that a soundbite eventually. Woo, boy! We watching or nah?
So, I am going to run some shows by you, and you're going to tell me, I'm going to describe them a little bit, I'm going to tell you about them, and you're going to tell me if you are watching or not.
Okay.
Cool. So this, I want to go through some non-comedy Western animation.
Today's topic is non-comedy Western animation. All right.
Non-comedy, I know. I wish I could make an acronym for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there's a lot of great Western comedies like South Park, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty.
Really, BoJack Horseman? I don't know if I'd even mention that.
There's all the Adult Swim stuff, Metalocalypse, stuff like that.
I loved Metalocalypse,
yeah. So, I'm trying to go non-comedies.
Non-comedies, alright. But if you bring up BoJack Horseman again, we're gonna fight. That show is awful. It's awful.
Ah, okay. So, there's a lot that, I wanted to mention that didn't make my list. But, Love, Death, and Robots, The Adventures of Vox Machina. And the thing is, most of these have come out in the last, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So, the Invincible show, Pacific Rim: The Black, the Spawn animated series. It's an older one. The Boys. If you like that show, have an
I
animated.
love The Boys.
So yeah. So I want to mention those, and I'm gonna get into my list because I know you're not big on the animation. So
it's just it's not so much that I don't dig animation at all. It's more that I have limited amounts of time to devote to what I watch. And my preferred watching medium is live action. That doesn't mean I don't watch, but yes, please talk to me about some things that might be worth my precious little time to watch.
Here's the thing though, animations are usually shorter. So you can either watch 2 episodes in an hour, maybe even more, or 1 episode of a live action show. They're usually an hour. I'm telling you, it's a better bargain for you.
But I typically prefer the live action. I like The Boys.
All right, well, let me see if I can tell you.
For a short example, before we get started, I will tell you, I enjoyed The Boys more than I enjoyed the animated short version of The Boys.
Fair enough. Who did?
I don't know. I mean, it was more gory. It was more adult, but I still preferred the live action version to the animated version.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I understand.
It's okay, so make me a skeptic.
Shows had live action versions, they probably would be better.
You're right. So okay, but that's fine. That sets the premise for me of I'm the skeptic in we watching or not.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was just letting them know, motherfucker.
So my number 6 is a cheat. I said it was a list of 5.
Oh, he threw one extra at me. Uh-oh.
I did.
It must be a good one. It must be a good one.
This is technically a comedy.
Well, then it completely invalidates your entire list.
Well, it's not really a comedy.
Non-comedy Western animation. Oh, the first one's a comedy.
Okay. That's why it's not on the list. But I did want to throw a shout out to the Harley Quinn TV show. It is on HBO. It is listed as an adult animated black comedy superhero television series.
What?
That's why I was gonna put it on.
Is Harley Quinn black?
It's dark. It is very dark.
Black like dark, not black like Black Lives Matter.
No, black like it's a dark comedy.
Okay, I thought it was like a minority infused comedy. Like that's what it sounded like to me.
No, I'm sorry I brought this up. But no, it's a black comedy. It's dark. It's funny. Yeah. It's seasons with another one coming out. It's about Harley Quinn as the main character.
Okay.
Clearly made by people that are fans of the canon and the DC universe, the comics, not the movie universe, but the comic universe. It's made with love. The woman from The Big Bang Theory, Katie Kuko, does the voice of Harley Quinn.
Kaylee Cuoco.
From Firefly.
You gotta say that right. Wait, who was in Firefly?
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk! He was the pilot, wasn't he?
He was the pilot.
He died!
Yeah, but he does the voice Joker and a bunch of other characters.
Wait, he does Joker voices? I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah, he's a voice actor. He was in I Am Robot.
What? How did I not know that?
Yeah, he played the robot. He does a lot of voice acting.
I love you.
So, are you watching the Harley Quinn TV show? Will you give it a chance? If you like,
you gotta tell me more about. Oh, hold on, I just dropped my apple juice. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep. So you gotta tell me more about it. I don't know if I'm watching it based on what you've said. Do I like Harley Quinn as a character? Sure. Do I like her antics away from the Joker? Yeah. Like when she gets away from the Joker, she's a badass, and she's like not a subservient little. And I'm sorry for our younger viewers, a bitch. But I gotta know more about this if I'm gonna invest some time in it.
Okay. Well, Harley Quinn's the main character. There's, Poison Ivy's involved. Kite Man is a pretty major character.
I don't even know who that is. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's got C-listers.
Is that like Robin on like heroin?
Kite Man? No. The guy with the kite.
So I need to know more about Kite Man. We need to do an episode on Kite Man.
Yeah, Kite Man's he's a dude with a kite. I can't remember. I mean, it doesn't need an episode.
Does he fight with the kite? I mean, does the kite do shit?
Not really. It's just it lets him fly.
So he's Deadpool's Paul.
Yeah, he's pretty useless.
Okay.
But he's funny.
All right. Well, I just wanted to know about Kite Man. But anyways,
Yeah.
So this Harley Quinn series, is it Batman related, or is she just out on her own? She broke up with the Joker because he's an abusive dick, and she's woman powering on her own. Is that what's happening?
No.
No. Okay. I have no idea. Tell me. You have to tell me why I'm watching this show.
You're watching the show because it's funny. It is. If you like comic book stuff, and you like comedy, and you have kind of a dark sense of humor, watch the show. That's as good as I'm gonna get. But it's got.
I'm gonna challenge you right now. If you're gonna do a segment called "We Watching or Nah," you're gonna have to get better as a salesman, bro.
Oh, I will, but this one wasn't really on the list.
No, that's fine. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I would be 50-50 on this show based on what you've told me.
That's fine.
I don't have a definitive answer based on what you've told me. I'm leaning more towards no or nah. But it's only because you didn't sell me on it.
Alright, that's fine.
Right, so let's hit number 5.
Okay, now for the real list. So, number 5 on my list is a show called Genlock. It's made by Michael B. Jordan. Well, it's made by a guy named Gray Haddock. But Michael B. Jordan is heavily involved in it. He's the lead character. It is. It's also got Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Dakota Fanning.
Remind me, Maisie Williams was which character?
Arya.
Okay, that's who I thought it was, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's got A-list voice acting. So
okay.
It's set in the near future, and there's 2 groups at war, and one of them is badly kicking the other one's butt. So the losing side makes these giant robots, like Japanese-style Gundam-type robots.
Okay.
They pilot them using this sort of like Avatar-type mind link thing, where they become the robot, you know what I mean? So they could like do acrobatic stuff with them.
Wait, acrobatic stuff? Are they doing cartwheels over here?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, but it's like your Japanese-style giant robot Gundam type show, but it's Western. It's made by a Western animation company. It's got it is definitely a Western animation that makes you that pays a lot of homage to the giant robot genre in Japanese anime.
Are they cheesy robots or are they badass robots?
They're pretty cool robots, to be honest with you. Like they
because I'm gonna be let me clarify my question a little bit. Your Gundam robots were a little cheesy. Your BattleTech robots in today's CGL world are pretty badass. So tell me, where on that spectrum are we landing?
I would put them. They're definitely made to be like the Japanese type Gundam type robots.
Okay. Based on that description, I'm gonna watch one episode.
Okay.
Based on that description, I'm gonna watch one episode, and if I'm not impressed, I'm not gonna watch anymore.
Okay, you can find it on HBO Max, or I believe you can find it on the Rooster Teeth website. You used to be able to.
Rooster Teeth, aren't they the guys that did Red and Blue?
Ruby, which is also on the list that's coming up.
They did Red and Blue, right?
Oh yeah, they also did Red and Blue.
Yeah, the Halo series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I know that fucking name.
Yeah, they did Red and Blue.
Yeah, I missed that shit. You know you can't find the old series anymore.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure it's on the Rooster Teeth website. Season 1 was up there for free. I know you have to pay for Season 2.
Yeah, everything is paid for now. You can't... I watched that whole series for free. Now I can't go back and rewatch it for free. Like,
Yeah. But not everything on their website is paid for. I do. I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth. I highly recommend them. So
no, I love them, and I think you should support them. I'm just a broke motherfucking nobody who can't afford to buy everything. And I do love... when Red and Blue was on Netflix, do you know how many times I just watched that whole series, like, going to sleep? Like... Hey! Private Donut! What are you doing? You know, like, I've got most of those speeches ingrained in my head. Okay, let's go with number 4. Number 5. Number 5 is a watch. Number 5 is an all watch one. Number 5 is an all watch one. Give me number 4.
All right, number 4, coming to you from Netflix, is Castlevania.
I've played the video game, I think, at an arcade where you shoot shit and you duck shit. And then you shoot shit, and then you duck shit, if I remember correctly.
Man, you're lucky we're not monetized. We'd definitely be getting demonetized. Alright, so it's an adult animated dark fantasy series based on the video game, where you do jump and duck. It is very well animated. The action's great. It's... if you're a fan of the games, I think you're going to enjoy it. I was never a big Castlevania player, and I enjoyed it. So if you've never played the games before in your life, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, give me some storyline.
Okay, so basically you think you're your vampire hunter.
Who's your main character? Why do I care about the main character?
The main characters are great. There is a magic-using woman who is a member of a tribe of people that passes down stories orally, like through like a sort of a bardic sort of. She's sort of a bard mixed with like it's kind of religious. It's really interesting. There is the Belmont, the demon hunter, who is sort of your Han Solo type character, and he uses a whip. Sometimes he uses 2 whips, and it's pretty. And then you got your son of Dracula, who comes awake and takes the side of humanity. And then on the opposing side, you have a heartbroken Dracula who love of his life was murdered by humans, and he's just out to burn the world, Joker style. He doesn't want to win. He doesn't care. He just wants to destroy everything because he was wrong. It's really good. The characters are all great. The villains are given equal time with the heroes. It's always a great thing. And it is just a compelling and action-packed watch.
Okay. I'm having a hard time dissecting this one based on what you've given me.
I'll give you one additional benefit. There are 4 seasons, and only 4 seasons. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's a complete story. It is a package deal. 4 seasons.
We're not talking about DBZ where I got 100 seasons to go through. So you know what? With Castlevania, I'm gonna mark it. We watching.
It's 42 episodes.
I'm giving my bishop stamp of approval. We watching.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. All right. So coming at you, number 3 on the list is the League of Legends series, Arcane. And
I know the game.
League of Legends.
Well, I was going to say I know the game, but I only very recently know the show exists. This is a very recent knowledge of mine. So please do go on. I literally know nothing about this other than it exists.
Yeah, I have never played League of Legends in my life.
I've never played it either. I've played what's that other one? The Gods one.
Dota?
Yeah, you play as different gods.
I have no idea.
It's like League of Legends, but you play as like Raw. You play as, Aphrodite.
No clue.
Okay. I'm blanking right now real hard, but I know the one I'm talking about.
Stuff you don't remember the name of.
That's what I do.
Yeah. There's a lot of endorsement money going to nobody because you're like, oh.
I am really good at remembering half of what I need to remember.
Alright, so the Arcane TV show. It is an action-adventure television series.
So Arcane is the title.
Arcane is the title.
And it's a League of Legends spinoff.
Yes, and from what it is a prequel. But as someone who's not a Legends fan, I'm not going to really talk about that aspect because it's not what drew me into the show.
Okay.
What drew me into the show is this show, first of all, had almost a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb. Like, it was higher than The Godfather. It mostly deserves it.
You're about to get punched.
Yeah, no. Well, it's not The Godfather.
As an Italian, you're about to get beat up.
I mean, I think it deserves a spot on the list. It's got great voice actors. The lady who played Hawkeye in the new Hawkeye show is one of the voice actresses. It's very, very well animated. The music is very well done. The cinematography, I know it's weird to talk about cinematography in an animated show.
I love cinematography.
Yeah, but the way it's done is very, very cool. And
I'm going to stop you right there. Because to me, as somebody who prefers live action, cinematography is a huge bonus or contrition to me. So like you're let me break it back just let me step it back a second and we'll talk the Love, Death and Robots, right? Like you've got 3 seasons now, and I'd say about 3 episodes per season I'm in love with, and it's all the cinematography. Like the stories are great. Every one of the stories in that series is great. I love them. But if you want to talk about me giving my stamp of fuck you, that's awesome, you probably have 2 or 3 per season that hit that. And that's based on the cinematography, not the story. Because I'll tell you, every Love, Death, and Robot story you should watch. And that's the end of my side.
No, I fully respect that because that's often something that's very underappreciated that makes a huge difference. And that's what I'll say about Arcane, is the story's good, the story may even be great, the characters are good, the characters are great, the music's good, the music's great, but the whole package, like how it's shot, how the drawings are done, the angles, like putting it all together is the best part of it. And the people that made it probably did it better than almost anybody in any medium I've seen in a very long time.
Okay.
Start to finish.
I'm gonna take my someday we're gonna have like a animation for this, but I'm gonna take my gavel. I'm gonna say, if you send me a link, we watching.
Netflix, baby, Netflix.
That's it. All right, we watching. All right, I'm hitting the button right there. That hurt. Okay, let's go to number 3. 4?
No,
3.
That was number 2.
Well, it was 6, 5, 4.
That was number 3. So we're going to number 2.
Wait, yes. Okay.
Yeah, Genlock, Castlevania, Arcane, Now, number two. Number two is another Rooster Teeth show. It's an older one. It's on season Ruby. RWBY.
I've seen that and passed it a million times.
Yeah, it is free to watch on Rooster Teeth. The episodes are just delayed.
I have 100%. I've seen RWBY, and I have just passed that over every time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it for a long time, and at the beginning, the animation is not great because they were a small studio. It's good, but it's not great. And it gets better over time as they got more popular, got more money.
Well, and Red vs. Blue did the same thing. I mean, Red vs. Blue. I'll be honest though, I'm gonna counterpoint my own counterpoint right now. I think the first two seasons of Red vs. Blue were the best, and as they got better, I think they got worse. I'm gonna say it right now.
And that would be my argument for Ruby as well. There are 8 seasons. Some seasons are clearly better than others, and it's not. It's hard to tell with the show like Arcane. It's got 1 season. Castlevania had 4, beginning, middle, end. Genlock's on its 2nd, so it's hard to tell where a show would go. But when you get 8 seasons, you're gonna hit and miss some. You know what I mean? And that is a detriment.
Right, but Red vs. Blue, let's be honest, they revolutionized something that shouldn't have been anything, and they were amazing at it. Fuck those red guys, fuck those blue guys. We're in a video game, and they made it real. They made the video game so fucking real. I can't even get over how genius they were. But you just don't have that in the rest of their seasons when they got money. The rest of their seasons are, oh, there's this real conspiracy. There's no more private donut.
I mean, that's just what happens, though, when you have to make a product. For 10 episodes, it's easy. When you have 20 episodes, it's a little harder. When you have 120 episodes, and that's why when you watch, Dragon Ball Z or One Piece or any of these shows, Fairy Tail...
That's why an entire genre of Dragon Ball has been retconned. Yes. Dragon Ball fucking whatever the fuck out in space has been retconned so many times. Was it GT?
I mean, if you add them all together, there's Dragon Ball.
I think GT was the one that they totally retconned, where Goku was a kid and they flew out in space. I think they retconned that one.
Who knows? That's what I'm saying. There's so many plot episodes, it becomes hard to follow.
Just remember in Corey's room playing Dragon Ball. What the fuck did we play? What did we play?
You're getting off topic, Bishop.
I am getting off topic. All right. Back to topic. Number 3.
All right. No, we're still on 2. The list is going up, not down. We're not going to go up the list and then back down the list. Here's my top 5.
What's your next number? I can't keep track of you. All right, let's go.
All right, no, it's Ruby. It is.
RWBY. Again, very forgettable. Based. Their advertising, very forgettable. I'm gonna say that right now, very forgettable.
Yeah, it was kind of underground. It wasn't on a network or whatever. It was very independent, and it blew up into this thing. And the action's very good. It is very, very much a Western anime, is what I'll even call it. It is a Western anime. It is an anime by a Western studio.
Okay, so give me something of substance that I'm going to say yes or no.
Okay, so basically, there are monsters in this world. It is a, we'll say almost like a steampunk type civilization.
Okay.
They have cars and stuff, but it's very steampunk like. They have flying ships, zeppelins, stuff like that. I would say steampunkish.
Okay.
And there are monsters in this world, and there are people called hunters that fight these monsters. And you're basically recruited when you're like a teenager, and you go to like a special hunter school, like that teaches you to fight monsters. And these people, they all have like powers. They each get like one power, and they each get a cool ass weapon. And all the weapons both are melee weapons, and they shoot like bullets, which is super cool.
What the fuck are we talking about? The Witcher here?
What?
It sounds like The Witcher.
They don't have guns in The Witcher.
Well, not guns, but he's got fucking... You got one power, do your thing.
Yeah, it's not really like The Witcher, but they do hunt monsters. It's more like a Japanese anime, I'll say. It's got the Japanese school where everyone has superpowers and stuff, and it branches off from there.
Let me ask you, are the first 5 episodes bingeable? That's a real question. I know that's hard, but are the first 5 episodes bingeable?
Yeah, the first 5 episodes are like 10 minutes apiece. You can watch them in like an hour.
What? Wait, the episodes are 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's made by Rooster Teeth, just like Red vs. Blue. Like,
But
so
Red vs. Blue was like an hour.
Well, it started as like a web show. So like the episodes are still unusual lengths, but they're usually not that long. And there's a bunch of them, and yeah.
Okay.
Like the whole first season is probably like a movie's length. It's probably like an hour and a half.
Okay. What's your big selling point on RWGBY?
The big selling point on Ruby is if you like anime, if you are an anime fan, if you like that style of show, then I would give Ruby a shot. I feel like it is the first show that really did this. Like took the anime style and brought it over to a Western audience, and I think they did it well. And you know, if you want to support something made not by like a big company, although they are now, but by like a more independent creator, check out Ruby.
Okay. So you've left me in a conundrum here, because based on the description, I want to say no. But based on...
I figured it'd be a no from you.
But based on the creators, I want to be a yeah. Based on...
I figured if anything on the list was going to be a no, it would be this. Like this
and I've seen it. I've seen it on the list. I've had the option to watch it. I didn't fucking watch it. I'm going to put it out there. I didn't realize it was Rooster Teeth, the same guys that did Red vs. Blue. Because Red vs. Blue, to me, iconic, game changing. You know, like they did things that nobody else could do. But I didn't know they did RWGBY, whatever the fuck that is.
Just call it Ruby.
Ruby. I didn't know they did Ruby. And now I kind of want to see a little bit of Ruby.
Yeah, check it out. Watch a couple episodes. This will take you like 15, 20 minutes.
If I hate it, I hate it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
But
I definitely thought this was going to be a no.
I'm leaning to nah, but I have to see one now.
Okay.
Like historically, on the timeline, has been nah. And that's what the left hand signifies here, is I have gnawed RWGBY, Ruby, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you the maybe nah is my stamp.
Alright.
Alright.
And that's the last one you have to answer, because let me tell you about number 1 on the list. So, I was making a list of like Western animations that are
non-comedy.
And I listed them all out, and I was like, well, this has to be number 1. There's no, like, if any list of Western animated shows, number 1 is the one, the only, coming at you from 1992, Batman the Animated Series.
Oh! I watched all of that.
Yeah, I figured you did. Like, but
every bit of that I was Batman.
Yeah, like with the Kevin Conroy as Batman, the original origin of Harley Quinn. It is.
She showed up in like 95.
Yep, 92 to 95. You are correct.
Yeah.
It is available to watch on HBO Max if you have not seen it, or even if you have.
I didn't know it was available.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say hell yeah. Fuck, I don't have my cowboy hat, but if I had my cowboy hat, I'll put it on right now and say, hell yeah, we watching.
Yeah, and for those of you out there that are younger than me and Chris or me and Bishop,
whoa! Watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth. That was so.
that did not get to see this growing up. Believe the hype.
No, the Batman. Dude, this guy just put a spike of fucking. I hate you right now for making this the last one.
I had to.
No, I do.
I looked at the list and there was no other choice.
This is the one that I will support till I die. This is the hill I will die on, Corey.
Yeah.
This is the hill I will die on. I grew up. Do you remember the last Batman episode I remember seeing as a kid before I don't remember seeing them? Was the Scarecrow with his blimp in the city spreading his poison.
Yeah, well, let me just, also mention the spin-off Batman Beyond. It's not in the same category, but...
Oh, Batman Beyond was amazing!
Yeah, Batman the Animated Series is, in my opinion, the #1 Western animated show. It is absolutely fantastic.
That's a yeah. Like, can we have a yeah? Like, there's the Batman animated is a yeah. Like, you get your yeses, but the Batman animated series is getting a yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And if you've seen it, go back and rewatch it. It really holds up. All the episodes are available.
It does.
Some people say he's the best Batman, Kevin Conroy.
I'm not gonna lie, he is and that kills me because I'm Batman like enthusiast. 1984, Jack Nicholson, fucking like that's my movie. But tell me, Batman the animated series doesn't ream that out. Like, come on.
Yeah, it is obviously done by people that love the lore, and it honestly has influenced a lot of what DC has done since, I feel.
Absolutely.
It really thing that kind of invented the dark Gotham, the noir, the blimps running around Gotham City. Just iconic,
100%.
Alright, well, I'm glad that segment went okay. I do have one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. I know you watched Game of Thrones.
Oh God, I love me some Game of Thrones. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was.
Have you heard the latest news?
What's the latest news, Corey?
Okay, well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, I don't know if they reported it first, but that's where I heard it. There is in development a Jon Snow sequel.
What the fuck?
It's going to take place after the Game of Thrones show.
Okay. So, if I remember the Game of Thrones, if I've watched that series at least 2 times, fuck my life. If I remember what I saw the 2 times I watched that pile of garbage. If I'm right, Jon Snow went back to the Night's Watch.
Oh, he actually went beyond the wall. He went to the Night's Watch and kept walking. He went to the other side of the wall. He was exiled from the Seven Kingdoms.
So he's not Night's Watch.
Nope, he's on Wildling land with the Wildlings and Ghost, his direwolf.
Okay, that's where I was a little gray area on this whole thing. Is I thought he was going back to the Night's Watch after Bran fucking said, "I'm the fucking god. Fuck you." Yeah, that's what I said. Take it. Don't fuck with me. When his fucking brother was like, "I'm the king and the three-eyed raven and fuck all your lives." And Jon Snow, you going back to the wall even though they killed your ass. You know, that was a decent fucking British accent. I don't care who said
No, that wasn't. But no, so my question is, are we ready to forgive Game of Thrones and HBO for the mess that Game of Thrones became? Are we willing to give a Jon Snow sequel a chance? Or are we still mad? Are you still mad?
No, and yes. I know that's hard. No, I'm not ready to forgive them. I'm not ready. Seasons 1 through 7. I literally just watched them over again. Okay? I did. No, you got something to say. Say it.
Yeah. I mean, is this like a just shut up and take my money situation? Like, no, I still hate you, but yes, I want your content. Like, I would love a Jon Snow show.
I feel like that may be what we're getting because 1 through 7, I will defend to the bone. 1 through 7, if you're like, oh, Game of Thrones season 6 sucked balls, I'll punch you in the nuts. But if you said season 8 sucked balls, I'd be like, do I need to turn around and let you put it in me? I mean, season 8 was just a give up.
Yeah, it was. And will this, if this show comes out and it is good, will we forgive them?
No!
I think I would.
We can't. It's impossible. They have made it impossible for that character Jon Snow because they've told so much of his story that, you know, his lover is dead. He doesn't care. He's going back to the Night's Watch. The fucking dead people are done. Daenerys Targaryen doesn't rule the Seven Kingdoms. Like, everything we thought could happen didn't happen.
I know, and I understand that, but they're not giving up on it. Check out this lineup. So this is again from the Hollywood Reporter. So, in addition, well, let's just say, including the House of the Dragon, which is about the rise of the Targaryens and the House of Targaryen, which debuts on August 21st, by the way.
So we're going to do a reverse period piece, alright.
Yeah, there are eight Game of Thrones shows in various stages of development.
8?
There's the House of the Dragon, which I mentioned, the Jon Snow show we just talked about. There's one called The 10,000 Ships, which is, I assume, about the Maria and her arriving in Dorne. There's The Seven Voyages. I have no idea what that's going to be about. There's a Dunk and Egg show based on the Dunk and Egg books. There are 3 animated prequel projects, which it doesn't have a lot of detail about. But 8 more Game of Thrones shows. We'll probably not get all of them because some of them are canceled in development. But I mean, we're probably getting at least 4, 5, 6.
That seems a little ridiculous to me. Because of how bad they ended season 8. I'll tell you right now. Look, you know what? Do you want my real harshest opinion right now? Do you want the harshest Bishop is the motherfucking asshole opinion right now? You want that?
Sure.
Okay. If they had ended Game of Thrones in season 7, just live action is over. Okay? That's what I'm talking about right now. Live action, it's done. Season 7. We're fucking
people would have rioted.
No. Hi. Let me finish. All right. They could have made all the animated shit you ever wanted to see. They had Arya's Faceless Man storyline. They had Jon Snow's every fucking thing storyline. They had so many storylines to work off of. But they just said, Arya's a no-face man. What's she gonna do? Oh, she'll kill the Ice Witch. But then her story's
No, I mean,
done.
we've all seen Game of Thrones Season 8. You don't have to recap.
I'm not trying to recap. I'm just trying to say, like, it's garbage. And please let me have Arya's no-face man story. I want to have Jon Snow's fucking Commander and King story. Like,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This opens the door. Like, if they do a sequel about one character, they can do a sequel about any of the characters. Maybe do a better job and close some of the gaps. It's happened before where a product has come out and the sequel improves on it, or the show improves on it.
Very rarely. Very
A
rarely.
sequel to The Karate Kid that nobody wanted, that is an amazing show. Like, it happens.
You're right. Alright, I can't argue with that.
But it is excessive. 8 shows seems excessive.
If they, dude, I'm telling you, like, I love Game of Thrones. I love them. I just, in the last 2 months, rewatched Game of Thrones from start to finish. And once again, I fell so in love with seasons 1 through 7. I don't know, I got fingers hipping up there, yeah, whatever. Seasons 1 through 7. Amazing fucking show. Season 8. There's the script. Ah!
Right, so... But HBO's just throwing money at the problem. HBO's like, alright, we heard you, we hear the backlash. Like, we know you didn't like...
How do you go in front of the author?
We throw billions of dollars at these shows until we get you hooked on the story again.
But how do you go in front of the author? The authors wrote 7. We're gonna shoot 8.
Well, from what I understand, that's a complicated issue about George R. R. Martin's involvement with the show and how much input he had up to certain points. It's a point of contention. We could talk a whole show about it. I don't really want to get into it. I just wanted to mention the Snow Show and see what your reaction would be. And it was pretty much what I thought it would be, because it's kind of my reaction. Like, no, I will not forgive you. Yes, I will watch this. And
I don't forgive them. I don't. I was very upset with season 8.
But they don't care if you forgive them. All they care about is if you're watching their stuff or not.
You're
subscribing to H. Alright. Well, let's end on that topic because we could talk forever about Game of Thrones. But I want to do my shout out of the week.
Okay.
Or, actually, yours was more important. So why don't you do your shout out?
Oh, okay. So, hold on. No, do yours because mine's gonna take me a second. Do yours first.
Okay. Before I do my shout out of the week, though, I would like to let everyone know that this weekend, I believe, is the Steam sale. If you're into computer games and you play on Steam, they do the Steam Summer Sale. It's extremely awesome. You get a whole crap ton of games for dirt cheap. So I wanted people to be aware of that because I always load up on games and then I'll play half of them. But when they're like a quarter of the price, it doesn't really matter. So,
Dude, that's
Steam.
awesome. That's awesome.
All right. So my shout out of the week is actually a graphic novel or a series of comic books. There's a 100 of them. They're called, well, there's 100 issues, I believe. It's called Why the Last Man. Now, there was a TV show for a season on FX. Don't watch it, it's not very good. But the comic book, the actual graphic novel, which you can get in graphic novel form, it's called Why the Last Man. It's written by a guy named Brian K. Vaughan. Brian K. Vaughan has written for like shows like Lost. He writes for shows. He writes for comic books.
Yeah.
He's got another thing out called Saga. He's really good, amazing writer. Why the Last Man? It is basically all the men on the earth die one day for no reason. Well, you don't know the reason. Except for one dude and his pet monkey. And he's just trying to get to Australia from America to see his girlfriend. He's trying to propose to her. And he's the only man in a world full of women. And it is not as fun as it sounds. Let's put it that way. The female characters are well written. I know it sounds like they're not going to be with a premise like that. But all the characters are well written. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of good writing, good character interaction. Why the Last Man? Highly recommend picking up the graphic novel, especially if you pick up the whole collection. That is my shout out for the week.
All right. So my shout out for the week is going to be with the Wolves Dragoons. It's the Mech Warrior Mercenary League of Legends. We are having a Autism Awareness June. The fundraising event is from June 1st to June 30th. Game night is June 24th on Living Legends at 7 p.m. EST. We are having a GoFundMe at, I can't post it. It's going to be gofund.me/801-746 Charlie Delta. It is the Organization for Autism Research. We are building some very important research. We're building for very important causes. I support everybody, and everybody who wants to go in on Friday should come in and hang out. That's all I got.
Yeah, but way to make me feel like a horrible human being. I'm like, hey, check out this comic book. Say some lies.
No, you're good, bro. I just happen to have a group of people that I hang out with who are just perfect to plug right now. Like, these guys are awesome.
No, that's great. That's a great cause. To get the word out, get people interested. 100% support you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I think that's good for the show today.
Yeah, it was a little bit shorter than the last one, but that's okay. I think we're...
Yeah, I mean, that's because I was worried we were going to go on for 4 hours, but I should keep talking. Hey, man, because, like, that's the time, like, yeah, I could go off on a tangent about that thing, too. I try to erase it from my mind.
Yeah, I got you, bro. So, yeah, nope, I love you. I think we're good on tonight. Voices from the Periphery, 8 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sorry.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m.
You're in
Eastern
Florida.
Standard
You
Time.
live in a different timeline.
Shit, it makes my life difficult, okay?
Yeah, just 1 hour off just to make you...
I'm like, 7, no, 8. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have live tabletops. We're going to have live D&D. We're going to have all these discussions. But please comment. Please subscribe. Please like and follow. And tell us what you want to hear about.
Yeah, we're nerds. We'll talk about anything for an hour.
Honestly, literally, you can talk about your pinky toe. I'll go.
I don't know if I'll talk about my pinky toe, but like anything nerd related.
I mean, if you're that much of a nerd, I'll talk about your pinky toe.
Yeah, that's like actually the man who invented D&D's pinky toe. Yeah, all right, we'll see y'all next week then.